This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So good morning, everyone. In yesterday's class, that is our first class, we got to know that why SQL is important, what you can do with SQL, and we have also seen the installation. So these are the three important steps we have gone through in the previous session. Okay. So first of all, I am telling it's a language. It's a language just like a Java, Python, and it's like a programming language, I can say, wherein you can communicate to the database. You can ask n number of questions to the database and you're going to get the response. You will be able to get the answers only because database knows SQL, you know SQL, you both are communicating it. Whatever client is asking as a question, you'll be asking the database will give you the answers, you are going to communicate back to the client. This is the only work you will be doing in SQL. Okay. For suppose if client itself they know SQL, they will only go and directly get it. There is no need of a developer, right? So you are required because you are the technical person who is going to know this language, and you are the person who's going to communicate to the database, right? So this is what we have seen. So as I told, just a recap of what we have seen so far. So we have seen the agenda, and we have seen whatever is like with respect to SQL, history of SQL, why it is important, like what are the popular databases. So these are the few things which I would say that we have seen it, and we have also seen the installation steps. Okay. So just give an example, like so far, like which apps maybe came which year. So all this something which I can say that this is something which we have to know it, because this is what the business is. Okay, let us say if someone is asking me today, okay, exactly on today, April 2nd 2021, if someone is asking something what happened 10 years back, I can clearly tell India won the World Cup on April 2nd, 2011. Exactly 10 years back. It's been 10 years that India has won the World Cup. This is a data point. How did I get to know? It's all because of the data. Something somewhere it is stored, right? If you can remember, this is the day India has won the World Cup, and it was 10 years back. It was exactly 10 years back. India had won World Cup in terms of MS Dhoni's captaincy, right? So all these are data points, but how do I get to know? It is stored somewhere. It is stored somewhere, and you will be able to get that. If you ask a question, just go and type in Google, okay, what happened today 10 years back, you will get it. Why? It is stored. It is stored. It can be stored in any database, that doesn't matter. But my question is very simple. It has stored, you are able to get it because you know English, or maybe you know SQL. If you know English, you'll go type in Google. What about the real time? Whoever is working in the database, they would have stored somewhere. They'll just query it. You will get it. These are the things you have to remember. Okay. So once we have seen this, we have also seen why we need database and what we are going to learn. And I would say that we have seen a simple example with respect to table, and we have seen why it is important because of its unique feature. Okay, I'm just giving a recap. I'm just giving a recap. So this is something why SQL was important. 55% of the times in the companies, people are using SQL. People are using SQL. Okay, and come for two simple examples. I would say OLAP and OLTP. This is where I proved you that SQL is still is in use. It will never be replaced because of its fast, unique feature. I gave a very two examples. One thing was I just gave a two person has to transact themselves, like they want to send money to one person to other. What exactly happened is immediately this transaction has to change, like the updation has to change. If something which is not changing it, there is high possibility that they can misuse it. Very good example, ATM transaction. You transact something and you hoping that it will update after 2 3 days. There is high chance that you will be taking all your money out. This is something is a online transaction. This is something which cannot be replaced by any other tool or maybe any other language. Only SQL can do it in effective manner. This is what we have seen. And one more example I told, OLAP. You keep doing some activities and you don't buy it or don't purchase it. From the business side, what they will do is, what happened to this guy is keep on adding to the cart but is not purchasing something. Let me give some discount, something let us give some cashback offers, something let us give a no EMI option. This is something I will be telling them. This will be, I'll be telling that something to someone. And what happens, definitely I'll purchase, but I will do after 3 4 days. I will analyze his activities. 3 4 days I will analyze his activities. Based on that, I'll get to know what exactly is happening. This is called OLAP. This type of transactions can wait. This type of transactions can wait. It can wait even 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, even 1 week. But ATM transaction cannot wait. SQL is the best way to optimize and get the results as soon as possible. See, I'm not telling it's not possible from other tools. It's possible, but nothing is as fast as SQL. Fast is important for us in terms of this type of processing. Okay, and that is the reason we have seen SQL is an important language. Okay, so after that, again I gave you an example, like which database we are going to learn. We are going to learn MySQL as a database. So in this database we are going to install it, we are going to work with it. And I'm telling you, if you have an Oracle in your system or maybe in your project, okay, some of the companies may be using Microsoft SQL Server, some of them may be using IBM, some of them they may be using DB2. Whatever they use, 95% of the code remains same. Here and there will be small syntax, here and there will be small change, only that is a change. A best example I gave is, if you know English, you can survive in any country. You can, if I know English, I can talk to an Indian audience with respect to some speed. If I go to US, definitely I will increase my speed, maybe decently I will increase my slang, everything will change, but the English doesn't change there also I'm going to use the same words. Select, if I will give a example, if I want to insert some records in the table, maybe I will tell insert. This is the same insert in any other database itself. Okay, if I want to view the records, maybe I will give select. So this select will be same throughout all the database. So the language is not going to change. Here and there is a syntax change. So never worry about it. One tool you learn it, you will be able to work with any other tool. Okay, so this is something which we have seen. So apart from that, we have also seen that why we have chosen MySQL. Most of the companies are still using with this MySQL. There is a lot of things that it is flexible, like if you see, it is a cross-platform capabilities as there, and coming for highly security is there, open source, anyone can install and they can work it. So these are the things which we have seen, and this is official website. So as I told, if you have minimum of 4 GB RAM, rather than using on the web, go and install it. The complete installation steps we have discussed. Okay, I hope everyone has installed and be ready for start working with me. Whatever query I work, whatever I do, please start creating it. Okay, now once you install it, this is how it looks. Let me close it and open. Okay, so this is a MySQL workbench. This icon you will be seeing on your screen after installation. So just go and click it. The moment you click it, you will get a message like welcome to MySQL, welcome to SQL MySQL workbench. Okay, and you will be having one local instance here. Just click that. It will be asking the password. Please note that this is the password which you have given while installation. Okay, please make note of it. If you forget it again, you have to reinstall it. There is some process required. You want to change the password, it's all hectic process. Keep it very simple. Keep it like admin, keep it like test, keep it your name, do whatever you want, but please make sure you remember it. If you forget it again, reinstallation is something which may be required, so make sure you don't give wrong passwords. Okay, now once you click it, maybe you will be having this as a MySQL workbench. This is what it looks. The complete tool is what this looks. Okay, in this MySQL workbench, what and all things you can do it. This is the first step, you have to know it. Okay, so what are the things you can do it with respect to this workbench? So if you see here, MySQL Workbench is a unified visual tool for database architects and developers. So a developer can organize a data. A very good example I'll tell you. KSR Consulting Service is one of the institutes in Bangalore. What we exactly do, we have many different batches. We have different many courses. So what I do, I'll just take a complete list of students. I will store it in the database, and I will ask, like I will be making note of it. When did they join? They are from which batch? I will create an ID for you. If in case in future, if you still come back, you will be having a, okay, we'll treat it as, okay, you are my old student. Okay, whether you got placed, like which company you went into. So all this detail, something which we maintain. Where are getting stored? This is all getting stored in database. From the last 10 years, whoever has got trained with us, whoever has got job with respect to our companies, so all this something which we will store it, which will keep track of it, how we are progressing. How it is possible? Storing somewhere. That storing, I myself can create an own application. I myself can start working on some, I would say, use cases. For that I need a tool. That tool is MySQL Workbench. MySQL Workbench is a database tool for developers in order to start working with an application. Okay, and it is going to provide you even the administrative things, like if you want to a security purpose, or if you want to develop something, and if you want to do a data modeling, and if you want to set some configurations, how to set it, file like settings, I would say that file system settings, everything you can do it. Okay, and one last good thing is it is a cross platform. You can run it in your own machine, Windows machine, you can run it in your iOS machine, you can run it in your Linux machine, Ubuntu machine, everywhere you can install this and you can start working on it. Okay, so this is about the workbench. And now if you see here, this is what it looks. This is what it looks. As I told, it's a language. As I told, it's a language. I would say that this is the space, this is a space you will start writing your code. This is called SQL Visual Editor. So the first thing, whenever you open it, the page you see will be the SQL Visual Editor. This is where you start writing your code. This is where you start writing your code. If you write the code, the database will understand. Suppose, let us say, as I told, okay, let us say I'm your client. I ask you 10 years back on this date, what happened? This is a question. Do you remember? Definitely not. What you will do, you'll go to SQL, MySQL, and you will type what happened today. You will ask a question. Immediately the database is going to throw you an answer. 10 years back on the same day, India won World Cup. April 2nd, 2011, India won World Cup. This is a result you will get, and you will communicate this to the client. Very simple. If he knows SQL, he would have directly got it, but he don't know. He doesn't know anything technically. You are the technical person. You are going to write the code. You are going to get the result. This result you are going to throw back to the client. How did you know? Since you know SQL, you want to communicate to the database, you have to write code. That is, code is where you will be writing on this SQL Visual Editor. Okay, and now once you write the code, it will execute and it will throw you an answer. The answer will be in query result. The answer will be in the query result. In the query result, you will get the answer. Whatever happened today, you will get it as a result. So this is a question you're asking to the database. Database is going to give you the answer. This answer is what you will be trying to show it to the client, or maybe you will be using for some reports. So tomorrow Power BI reports, you are going to do Power BI reports. Power BI reports, like where is a there is a one table. Okay, let us say there is one table called Amazon. In Amazon, you have all the customer information. You want to see it. You want to see it. How will you see it? Just write a code, you will get the result. This record or maybe this table, I can use it in my Power BI and I'll be able to do the charts. Very, very simple. Where you will ask questions, where you will get the answer is something with SQL Visual Editor and SQL with and query result. Okay, and coming for keeping track of whatever has been run. Okay, like how many queries you have run and what a query has been executed, something you will be knowing as an history. That is, this is an history to see that what are the code you have run it. Basically I would call it as history. We have something called history output window. This is where I will get to know what are the query I run it in the morning, afternoon, evening. I can just keep track of whatever queries has been run. That I will get to know here. Okay, three parts we have seen. One is you write the code, one is you see the answer, and one is something like you have to something is stored like a buffer, like it will tell which query you have run. This is nothing but it's an history. Okay, and one main thing advantage is someone who doesn't know any syntax, they can always go and get it with respect to help panel. Okay, here is a drop down. Here is a drop down. You can select insert, select, update. Like you can, if you want to see the records, it will be select. If you want to insert the records, it will be insert. If you want to update it, it will be update. So all this is coming under the drop down, where this becomes like a help panel. If you don't know any syntax, if you want to go and see it, always go and see with respect to this panel. This panel is called help panel. Okay, but usually people will not use this, because if you have a Google, like anything you don't know, you'll always go and see Google. It's like a built-in search. This help panel is like a built-in search. So this built-in search is people something which like try to avoid it. If something which you don't know, we always have our best friend Google. So even anyone, everyone, like whatever they don't know, will just go and see in the Google. So that is something which you can people will avoid it, but you have a built-in search. Okay, so we have seen where to write code, we have seen where to get answer, we have also seen where the code will be getting stored, like history of the data, whatever it is you're seeing, history of queries, that is also getting stored. And something which you're seeing is help panel. Okay, and coming back to how many tables you have created, how many database you have created. See, this database, maybe I would say, okay, one I'll be working for Amazon, one I'll be working for some school, one I'll be working for some hospital. I may be working for multiple clients, but for each and every client I may be maintaining a separate database. I cannot mix i cannot mix school data with Amazon. Amazon is for different purpose. Wherein you create your customer information, they'll start purchasing it, that's different. School, you maintain all the school students information, what is their ID, what is the roll number, what is the name, full name, address, location, which class they are from, what is their attendance, everything you're going to maintain with respect to school. Okay, and coming back to hospital, hospital is also a different domain. So what I will do, I will be creating multiple database. All this multiple databases will again have multiple tables. This everything I can go and view it with respect to object browser. How many tables has been created, how many databases created, what are the columns that has been present, everything I can go and view it here. this becomes my object browser. Okay, so we have seen where to write code, or what to get, where to get answer. We have an help command. We also see the history, and also we can see how many database you have created, how many database you have created, and how many tables have been there. Everything you can go and see it. Okay, now this is what about the editor. Whatever you install now, you will see the same sheet with respect to the, maybe you will be seeing the same version. Okay, and you will be seeing, this is called the MySQL workbench. This is called the MySQL workbench. This is a tool we will be using for next at least 18 to 20 hours. We are going to just use this tool. Most of the things will come from this tool. Like, we'll be concentrating more on practical. Only initial 3 4 days, or maybe some days you'll be seeing this presentations and all, but going forward everything we are going to work as a practicals. Any concept we are learning, it will be implemented in this tool. That is what we are going to make our hands wet with respect to this tool. Okay, now what I'm going to do, after this, let us explain one simple example. Let us explain some simple example. Let me see, let's ask you. Okay, we know Amazon. Okay, so we have Amazon, so it's a business, it's like high revenue business. What exactly do they act like a middleman, wherein they connect from stores to customers. They act like an interconnectivity. Okay, whatever they have demand. For example, I need an iPhone, I need a mi phone, I need a some like any product, like it could be headphone, it could be any product. When I send a request to Amazon, Amazon will be already having in a storage system. They will deliver it. In case if it doesn't have, they will get it from the store and they will be delivering to the client or maybe customer. This is what is happening with respect to Amazon. Okay, now what you are going to do is, just like Amazon, let us assume Amazon is US company. Okay, now in India we are all in KSR. We are going to build one project, and that project name is One India. Just like an Amazon application, we are going to improve, or we were going to implement a online website where you can purchase, and I will call this as One India. Now you tell me, to start a business like this, what are the steps required?
Is it One India is a same like Amazon Marketplace?
I'm giving an example. There is an Amazon. The same Amazon, I want to create a new application. I'll give name it as One India. Maybe you can give
Then
one
we will
case.
collect. Then we will collect the all the products from the online stores, from the stores, where we will collect all the data from the stores, the products, and we will place it in the same One India app, the products. Then the customers can easily find out, and then we will deliver to the customers.
Whatever you're told, it's 100% correct, but it is not a first step.
We'll
It
create
is
one
somewhere in
database
the,
for one India.
we create one database for One India. Okay, Then what is the second? Now I think whatever Banu told, like maybe it will like we'll create a product information. Okay, like each and everyone can go and create a product, and maybe we'll be having something called customers. How many customers are there? So everything I can go and create. This will become like a table. So this is database. This is table. If you have this two initially, you are one step in the project. You are one step in the project. Basically, you want to create a database, and in that database, you will be having multiple tables. Like product information, I'll store it in one table. Customer information, I'll store it in one more table, and which customer is purchasing which product, I will store it in one more table. This is what I am going to do it. Okay, it's what I'm going to do it. The first step is always creating a database. Right now, what exactly how we can do is, let us assume this is our website www.oneindia.com. Okay, where you can purchase online. This is a database. This is a database. In this database, you will be having multiple tables. Maybe I'll call this as a customer information. Maybe I'll call this as a product information. Maybe I'll call it as a transaction, which customer has purchased this. Maybe in one thing I will be having like when Amazon is there, Amazon is linked with like maybe I can call it as Amazon Prime is there. Maybe like high-end customers, or maybe I'll be linking with delivery team. So maybe I will call it as a delivery team. Okay, and maybe one I can tell new products. Whenever new product is coming, I have to store all this. All this I can tell it as a tables. One database, many tables. Each and every table stores in one. Each and every database, each and every information, we are going to store it in one table. You yourself imagine. Okay, you have many books, many documents at home. What if you go and put everything into one cupboard? Everything into one cupboard, what happens? You will find it difficult when you're searching something. You want to search something with respect to some topic or some book. What you have to do, you have to go and see each and every book. Then you will get, you are going to ask a question. That means you want to see a topic which is going to give very late, because everything you have stored it in one cupboard. But instead, what you can do, one subject, you can put it in one rack. Maybe one cupboard. What exactly, when you know what topic it is, directly you can go to that topic. You can search only the limited books there. That is how you are improving your performance. The same thing happens. Different information will be present in different tables. It is going to help you to access it. It is going to help you to access it. Okay, now this is what the concept is. This is what the concept is. Now, without any delay, we will go and create our database. Without any delay, we will go and create our own database. Okay, so as I said, this is what our editor is. Please go on mute. This is what the editor is. See, as I told, this is something which I don't use it, this help panel, because whatever I get it, maybe if you are, even if you are also learning, and if you are also started writing code, this is not required for you, help panel. Even if it is required, go and get it from Google. This is something I will close it. So that means it will save me some time or maybe space. The complete space I can utilize it. So you have an option here. You have an option here. You have an option here. Okay. So this is something which will give you the help syntax. Like for example, I want to select it. If I select, what is a select syntax? Well, it will tell you what exactly is a select is going to do it. Okay, so this is something which you will be getting with respect to syntax. Suppose I want something with respect to update. I create an update. So this is something which I don't need. What I will do, I'll create this. Maybe I will require this, or maybe I'll give this. You can get to know what exactly which one you want and which one you don't want. Okay, you can do this. Maybe for now I don't want this. I don't want this. Okay, because something which I'm not worried is I don't want this because I will get it from a Google only, or I already know it. Why I'm going to do this? I will get a lot of space. Maybe you can use it if you are a beginner. This is a data. This is a MySQL workbench. We'll start writing our first code. Okay. Now what we are going to do? We are going to start with some basics. We are going to start with some basics. Okay, initially today and tomorrow, maybe followed by from today, we are going to learn some basics, like what exactly is a command. See, if I want to learn English, what will I do? First I learn ABCD, then I'll read sentence formation, or I'll learn sentence formation, then I'll speak to someone. Just like that, as a first step, okay, what you have to learn is you have to learn the basic commands. What are the SQL commands? What are the basic commands? What will be the syntax? And we will try to create some of the objects. Okay, so this is what we are going to see in the upcoming sessions. Right now, what I told you, I can build a project for Amazon. I can build a project for hospital. Maybe I'll build a project for school. It is completely with respect to my decision which product I'm going to work, or maybe which project I'll be getting from the company. So what happens, there will be a database. And how it will be created is we are going to see as a first step. To create a database, what is a syntax? Why database is required? To store the data. But I can have different databases, one with respect to hospital, one with respect to Amazon, one with respect to school, something which I can have. Okay, I will give an example how to create a database. To create a database, you have to write a command, create database name. The one which is highlighted in the blue color is the what the syntax the MySQL will understands. If you mention this word create database, this is a command which you're giving to MySQL. MySQL internally will understand your language. Oh, this guy is asking me to create a database for him for his new application. This is what that creates database means. But what is a database name? Each and every person in this world have a name. Just like that, I have to name a database as well. Only if I give a name to the database, I can start using it for my reference. So the name is something you will be giving it, and the command is create database. Okay, now we will go and create one simple database. So this is where you will write the code. Okay, and I will write select, sorry, create database is a syntax. Create database. So this is something which I'm writing here. Most of you people are seeing in the mobile phones. So I'll put on caps. Okay. Don't always assume that, okay, everything I have to write it in caps. No. Okay. Everything I have to write it in caps. No, it's not like that. So for just since most of you seeing it, I am giving an option, and also I will zoom it. Okay, so that you are able to visible. And one more thing is that in your go to meeting that you have the link which you have joined it, there is possibility to zoom the screen. Just use your two fingers and try to expand it with respect to the screen. It will expand. Okay, if you are seeing on a very small phone or maybe the screen is less, try to just drag the screen with respect to two fingers. You will be able to try it. If it's not happening, maybe you have to update your app, but it's a new feature added. You can zoom it. You can zoom it and you can see it. Just use your two fingers and expand it. You will be able to see better. Okay, because some of the things, this and all, I cannot zoom it. I can zoom the editor. I can zoom the editor, but sometimes I cannot zoom other things. You try to zoom it from your end and you can see it. Okay, and one more thing I'm doing, one more thing I'm telling, it's not always I'm writing in caps. Just to have a clear picture and it has to sit in your mind, I'm using capital. It doesn't mean that always I have to use capital. Even if you work in a small, or if you write it like this also, it will work. It will work. Okay, so now let's go and do the syntax first. Create database, create database name, whether you're building for your college, whether you're building for school, whether you're building for Amazon, whether you're building for any other business, something which I will give name. Okay, now if you see in this right side, I'm sorry, towards your left, I have already created many database. For each and every batch also I have created one database. For that batch information I would have stored here. Okay, so Power BI January batch is there, Power BI December batch is there, November batch is there. All the things I will be storing. Amazon DB is there, like all the Amazon information will I be storing it. Okay, and the something KSR SQL, complete information about KSR I'll be maintaining it. Every single thing I'll be storing it in this database. Now if you see, there is no database called One India. There is no database called One India. So I have Amazon, we have database, we have retail store, and we have Power BI batch, school DB is there, September batch is there, training is there, test is there, everything is there. I don't have a database called One India. Let me create it. Okay, and it's a good practice to give something like suffix telling that this is a database. DB stands for database. Okay, you need not do anything, everything will be taken care. This since you are going to,
Excuse me, if you have kept that siphons, why is that necessary to keep that siphons? One India is the one company, na? We are creating database to One India. Why you kept that siphon between the One India?
what I've kept, I'm sorry.
Between One India, you have kept one siphon, na?
Hyphen, okay, it's fine. Even if you remove it's fine. Since it's like something you will not be able to read it, I've kept it. It's your wish. You can keep a hyphen, or maybe I would say underscore. It's called underscore. Maybe you can give it or you cannot give it. It's fine. Okay, it's your wish. But just it's like I'm telling that it's like for user readability. You can keep or you not keep. I'm not worried about it. But the thing is, just have a suffix like DB. So DB stands for database. It's your wish. Naming convention can be anything. Okay, now let me create this database. Let me create this database. So how to run a command in MySQL is just you select the code. This is the first line code which I'm writing in MySQL. I will run this. I will select this. There is one spark button. Okay, there is one spark button. Okay, so you just click the spark button. That is all it is.
It
Create
was not.
database.
It was not visible.
That's what I'm telling. Can you zoom it? Because this tool I cannot zoom it. You zoom it from your end, you
Yeah,
just
yeah,
see that, okay, there
yeah.
is a
Done.
spark. Yeah, because code I can zoom it. Whatever code I'm writing, I'll make sure it is visible for you properly. But small things and all, I cannot zoom it from my end. You try to zoom it from your screen, like you try to expand it, you will be able to see. Okay, there's one spark button. Okay, just to the save, here we have one spark button. Just click that. The moment you click that, this database is going to be executed. If you see here, this is a history. This is a history. Right now I don't have any history. I will go and run this. The moment I click this, there is one row, maybe one message that is coming, that is the create database, and it was successful. How do you know it's a successful? You will be able to see this one green symbol tick mark. One green symbol tick mark. This confirms me that the syntax which I've written does not have any problem with respect to syntax issues or maybe any spelling issues. Something I don't have is this green symbol tells that whatever code you have written, it's correct. Whatever code you have written, it's correct. Okay, this is something which will tell us the syntax is correct. Okay, now what I will do, I will go and there is one refresh button here. Okay, see, a database is also called a schema. Database is also called schema. So one schema, like one India is a schema, Amazon is a schema, and Power BI is a schema. So everything is respect to which different schema. Okay, so what you will be having is, you will be having different schema level or a database level. That is what I am seeing here. Okay, now I will refresh it. You will be seeing a database which we have created, one India. Okay, try to zoom it, one India DB. Once I create it, I am able to see this one India DB. Okay, let us create few more. Create database. Okay, let us say Flipkart. I'll select this, I'll click the Spark button, it is executed. That database is also created. You go and refresh this, you will be seeing Flipkart as well. Flipkart has come here. Maybe it is ordered in the alphabetic order. Flipkart has come here. This is the first step. Any application you go, there will be always a database created. This tool, it's like database, like a big storage, but you have to design which storage is used by which person or maybe which application. It's like a huge part, but you will be segregating with respect to different database. You will be creating it. So what is the syntax? What is the first thing which you have learned today is how to create a database. The mandatory step is some name you have to give. Okay, now maybe I did a mistake. I should be DB, database. Okay, this is all coding standard. You just create it, and because table is there, database is there, going forward you'll be seeing something else as well. For everything you cannot give a proper same name, so always suffix it with what type of it is, whether it's a table or it's a database, something you differentiate it. So I will go and create a Flipkart database. Now I'll click this and click the Spark, and I'll go, and here I have a Flipkart DB. Okay, now I try to recreate it. I already created this. Now I'll again try to recreate it. It is throwing me an error. How do you differentiate whether it's a correct or not is with respect to the green symbol and the cross symbol. Green symbol is something which exists, and cross symbol is something which does not exist. Maybe I can tell that it's an error, syntax error. Green symbol is your code is perfectly fine, it's going to work. The cross mark is something like there is a problem, and that problem is there is an error. And what is the error? Clearly you can read the error. Okay, try to zoom it because I cannot do it from my end. You can see that cannot create a database Flipkart DB. Database exists already, this is existing. You cannot create one more database. What exactly you mean by is you should be having unique database name. All the database name has to be unique. You cannot have same name for two different database. Okay, so this is something which I will be using it to create a database. Make sure you don't create the same. Even if you create, it is not going to create, it is going to throw an error. Create database Flipkart DB exists, that is the error. That's the reason it is a cross mark.
Excuse me. Uh, I tried creating the database. It is successfully done, but the thing is, I was unable to find it in the schemas left side, not in my system.
You have to click this refresh. There is one
Oh,
schema, and on top of this there is a refresh.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. And one request, just to tell in middle, those who have not shared your details, please do share your details, so that you will be getting tomorrow's link. Okay, so please do share the details. I think we have not got a response from Prasanna. There is one more Prasanna. Please do share your details. And there is one person called Nikhil. So please do share your details, Nikhil. We don't have your details. If you share, definitely it will help us to reach you back with the content and as well as the free link which we'll be getting every day. So please do share. It's a request from our end so that you will be able to communicate back.
No,
Yes.
sir. May I know the difference between SQL and MySQL, like
You want to know difference between
SQL and MySQL?
SQL and MySQL? Yesterday, did you miss the class?
Yeah, I'm attending today.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, we'll be sharing the we will be sharing the video. Maybe you can go for it. But on high level, if I want to tell, SQL is a language. It's a
Yeah.
language. If you want to communicate to Oracle, still you have to know a language. If you want to communicate to a PostgreSQL, still you have to know a language. SQL is a language. MySQL is a database. It is a database where it will store the data. This will store the data, whereas SQL, it is going to be the language. Okay, if you know this language, SQL, you can communicate to any tool. You can communicate to any tool, and you have, for example, we have here, we have different tool. We have different tool. Okay, these are all the databases. Oracle is also owning their own database. MySQL is also a database. IBM company, they own their own database. They own their database. This database, what they will do, they will be using for themselves, and also they'll be giving for other clients as well. Okay, so everything is possible, but these are all databases. In order to communicate to the database, you have to know one language. That language is what we are going to learn as SQL. So don't try to confuse. SQL is a language. These are all the databases. But in our course, we are going to learn MySQL as a tool. Tool in the sense it is database. In order to communicate to database, you have to know in SQL as a language. That is what it is. See, this SQL, this MySQL is a database. Now I'm asking questions. I'm commanding, hey, can you create a table? Can you create a database? This is what I'm speaking in SQL now. All the commands which I'm writing, it's an SQL commands. whatever I am writing it, it's all SQL commands. So this commands is something which we are writing it is SQL, but where I am writing, that is called MySQL. Clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Yeah. Now I can create few more database. I can create few more database. Okay. So Flipkart is there, One India is there, or maybe what I will do now, I'll be giving something called today. This month is April. Maybe I'll create one database with April. Okay. So as per the alphabetic order, it has to come here. Amazon DB assignment. Maybe I'll run this. I created it. I'll refresh it. So it has come here. So I've created a different database. I can use it. Whatever I'll be working on this month, I'll be using this database. Maybe whatever I'll be doing in the Amazon, I'll be doing in Amazon. Whatever I'm doing in Flipkart, I'll be doing in that database. Basically, whatever I'm going to build, I'm going to build with respect to only one database. Okay. Now the question is in the real time, are you the person who's going to do it? Definitely you are not the person who's going to do it, because end of the day your role will be a Power BI developer. Okay, but you have to know initially how the application started. Whenever you go and work a project, already database will be created, already tables will be created, everything will be running. Okay, if you own rare case, if you are going for a startup, a new project is coming, very new, brand new project starting from scratch, there is a possibility that you may create database. So as I told, I'm going to work on One India database. Just like Amazon, I'm going to work with this application. Then there is a possibility that maybe I'll start creating it. But in the real time, already it will be existing, but you have to know how it was created in the initially. That is what you're learning here. Okay, maybe if you ask me like, oh, why I'm not creating a database in my application, well, already it's created, it's working, it's fine, it's running, it's a live application. Okay, unless and until you go and work for a brand new project, this is something which you will not be doing it. Okay, now something goes wrong, or maybe the table, the database name which you have created, your client did not like it. So I told you database name has to be suffixed with DB, but instead of DB I gave TB. And you see this, one with the database DB is there, one with the TB is there. I did not like this, I want to drop it. What I can do is just go right, drop database, and just run this. Maybe I'll drop the Flipkart, and I'll drop one which was given by TB. So Flipkart DB is there, Flipkart TB is there, TB I will drop it. I did a mistake. By default everything has to be in DB database, but I gave TB, it's wrong. So I'll go and select this and I will run this. Database is dropped. Database is dropped. Now if I go and see here, maybe without even refreshing it is affected. Only Flipkart DB is there. So it's your option. You create it or you drop it. But if you drop it, the entire information with respect to that application is gone. Now I don't have, this is my initial step. What if you do towards the end? You create all your application, everything. Finally, one person comes and drops a database. The entire database is done. Okay. So, but you have made some mistakes. You want to change it, or maybe you want to drop it. You can always go and drop it. There's one table, there is one database called April DB. This April DB is something which is there. What I will do now, I will drop database. Whatever it is in blue color, it's all keywords. Okay, and the name which I'll give is, I will drop the April database. April will be removed from here. You have Amazon DB1, Amazon DB2, April DB assignment. Now I will drop it. It's dropped. Okay, now I'll go and see this here, it is dropped. So basically I have control. I'm a developer, I have control. I can create it or I can drop it. This is what the first step is, to create a database. To create a database. Database is created. Okay, now what could be the second step? Once the database is created, now you have to maintain the tables with respect to each and every storage, customer information, product information, how much they are purchasing, what could be the third party tools, like what is the competitors. Amazon competitor is Flipkart. Okay, what could be the products available there. So basically what I'm doing, for each and every information I am going to get with respect to different tables, and that table is what it is going to store it in different different content in different table. That is what we are going to see with respect to tables. Now what we will do, we are going to create a new table now. You're going to create a new table now. Okay, for that let me explain you simple example. Okay, I will show it in a simple Excel. Let us say in the entire group, okay, how many we have around 30 members. So what exactly 30 members is, they have name, they have age, they have phone number, and they are where they are coming from. Okay, so this is common for all. I have name, you have name. I have age, you have age. I have phone number, you have phone number. I am from one location, you are from location. This is what I am creating as a structure. This is what I am creating as a structure. And this I will call it as, maybe I'll put it into one table. This is called the table. This is called the table. Okay, so this table is something which I'll be with something which I'll be doing it, is this creating a structure. Now I can start inserting. Now I can start inserting. Okay, now I'll go and insert something. Now I'll insert something. Now again your data I will include. But what is a common? Even I have name, you have name, even I have age, you have age, even I have phone number, you have phone number. I'm from this location, you are from this location. The main thing is structure. This structure is what I am going to create now, and that is something which I'll be doing with respect to creating a table. Creating a table. How to create a table? I created a database. Create database. Database is done. Now my objective is, how do I store customer information? All these are our customers, whoever name is it. But everyone will be having a name, everyone will be having a age, everyone will be having a phone number, location. With respect to even Amazon, if you see, you have to have phone numbers, you have to have a delivery address, you have to have an ID created. So all this is unique for each and every customer. I have to create a structure. That structure is called a table. What is a table? This is a table. This is a table. This table will store the information of a customer. Okay, now Our next step is go and create a customer information. Go and create a customer information. For that, you have to go and create a table. Our next syntax which we are going to learn will be create a table. How to create a table? Again, if you see the syntax, create table is something, as I said, you will be giving some name. Create table, table name. Okay, and what could be the structure? If you say that if you want to build a project for school, obviously what happens, there could be two or more person with the same name. Hello, is anyone having any questions? Please go on
No, sir.
mute if you don't have any questions. Okay, so if I'm building a project for school, there's a high chance that you would have experience, right, in your school colleges. What if your name has been repeated by one more person? Like there are two Santosh, or maybe there are two Vinay, there are three Kirans. What you will do? How do you differentiate? Maybe worst case also initials, prefix, suffix, surname, last name, middle name, everything, even if it's matching. Only one thing which I can tell is ID will be different. Register ID, roll number, university number. Based on that, when they have joined or maybe when they have registered, first person will get higher priority. So maybe what I can store in my table: student ID, student name, and gender, whether they are male or female. This information I will store if it was a student information. But now we are going to work on One India database. Okay, so let us create a simple table. Let us create a simple table. What is a table which I'm going to create is the same thing which I saw is which I have showed you here. The same thing we will create it. The same thing we
I
will
have
create it.
one question.
Yes.
Is there no schema concept here in MySQL?
Database is a schema. If you see here, I've created a schema. I will created a database. Here it is showing a schema. So there is
Okay.
schema and database both are same.
Actually, in SQL Server, there will be DB or schema, and whichever we like, we can give schema dot like table name, right?
Yeah, see, even here also, maybe if you want to create any schema, maybe you have to give like this schema, and I'll give something like MayDB. See, something both database or schema both are same. Okay, so suppose I create the schema. If I create this, it's created. Okay, I'll go and refresh it. Where is MayDB? Added. So database and schema both are same. Okay, but rather than to make it simpler, I'm using database as a name. Both it gives the same meaning, schema or database. Everything is like a higher level, the top level hierarchy. So never mind, it's a schema or database. You can keep in one. See, even if you see here, I created a database, but it was showing as a schema here. Okay,
Not only at database level, Santosh, table level also we give some schemas, right? Like,
we will see that. We will see that whenever you are going and see creating multiple tables, how to access with respect to different schema. We will see that. But at a high level, this is the database schema. Schema is nothing but same as database, where you will be having multiple collections of tables. For example, this is where a database is. In this database, you have multiple tables. So this becomes one schema. You go for working for one more project, there also you will be having multiple objects, like multiple tables will be there. It becomes one more schema. So schema is just a collection of tables, objects. Rather than calling a schema, I will putting in a very simple term as a schema. Is it clear?
yes, of course. Yeah, under database, can we give different schemas for tables? Like one table with one schema and other table with other schema, like.
See, what I am telling here is, like, for example, if you're asking schema, okay, the only change if you see is your entire structure, right? The entire table structure you are giving as a collection of tables. That will be like one schema. Okay, don't confuse between what is a schema and database. Now at this point of time, you think both are same.
Okay, Santosh. Thank you.
Okay, so once you go forward, you will be seeing what exactly is the difference. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Now come back to our example. Come back to our example. What we are going to do now, we are going to create one table. We are going to create one table. How to create a table? This is what the syntax is. This is what is a syntax is for our table. What we are going to do is, I'm going to write the syntax. See, this is a syntax to drop the table, drop the database, and this is a syntax to create a database. Okay, I'll make note of all the scripts which I'm using in the class. I'll be sharing with you. Okay, everything I'll be sharing with you. Now what I will do, one more thing. There are different database. You want to know which database is active now. Very important question. You have to know which database is active. One thing I can understand from this is, if you see here, everything is in a normal font. This is something which is in bold font. KSR SQL is in the bold. I can tell that, okay, among all this database, this is a database that is active. I can tell that. Okay, how to check? Go and write select database. Go and write select database. If you run this select database, you will get to know which database is currently active. Active means what? Any tables you create, it will directly go and sit in that database. It will go to KSR SQL because it is active now. If you see, this is active. Any tables you create, it will directly go there. Okay, now I will run this. Yes, KSR SQL is selected. That means yesterday or day before yesterday, I was working on this database. I did not close it, or maybe it is just I left like that. It has been active. So whatever table I create now, it will go and sit here. Okay, the moment you write select, you are going to get an output. This was history. This was object viewer. This is a code editor. This is a result. The tab which you see in between is a result. Something you write a select code, obviously you will be able to view it. Which is a database that is currently active is what you're going to see as select database. Okay, now, but what is the use? I've created a new database for my project. I want to work here. Whatever tables I've created, I will go and create in that database. How to move to different database, or maybe how to change the database, I can clearly say switch to different database. Okay, how to switch to database or just move to different database? I have to use a command, use the same database name. That is all it is. First of all, I created a database, but I was not sure which database is active. So I just went and run this select database. I was able to get this. Now I will go and use my database for my object because I want to work on this application. This is my new application. I want to run this new application. I will go and run. See, comment is this as symbol. Okay, why I'm writing is for your for a clarity purpose. I'm writing it. So this is something which I will be using more often because it is a comment. It will get to know what comment it is. Now I will go and use One India. Just observe what is going to happen here. One India has been selected. It has been highlighted. Now whatever tables I will create, it will go and sit here. Okay, if you don't believe me, again go and run the select base database. It will also tell you which was active now. Initially when I run here, some other database was there. Now I will run the select database. One India database is selected. Okay, so basically to switch from one database to other, maybe you will be using use command. You're telling the system, hey, use this database for my next work. You're telling the system. If you want to know which database is active, just go and select this. You will get to know. Okay, now One India is selected. My next objective is very simple. Create a new table. And what is my new table? This is what is my new table. Okay, now what I will do is, what is the syntax is create. Instead of database, I'll be creating a table now. Table, creating a table, and I will call customer TB as a name. Customer is a table name, and I'm suffixing with TB, telling that whatever I'm suffixing with TB, it is like a table. Okay, I am telling my system, I will open the bracket and I will close the bracket. Within this, I want to define the structure of the table. The structure is this one. That structure is this one. What I will do, first I will give as name, maybe I'll give as customer name. Okay, then what I need age, I need phone number, I need location. 4 columns. Column number 1, column number 2, column number 3, column number 4. 4 columns I have mentioned. Okay, and one thing you have to remember now is, one thing which you have to remember is, if I'm giving a column name, I have to specify to the table what type of data it can hold it. Customer name cannot be 1 2 3. Customer name has to be Kiran, Santosh, Vinay, etc. It should be like character, or it should be like a string. You cannot give as an integer here. So you're specifying what type of value this can hold it. Okay, that is what you're seeing here. Create table name, student ID, and you have to give something called data type. This is a keyword. This is a name I have given, table name. This is all the column name. Now I have to know it, what type of value the student ID will be fitting, what type of value the student name will fit, what type of gender will fit. This becomes the data type. This all becomes a data type. Data type is what type of data it can hold. This can hold integer. Student ID cannot be a number. Student ID cannot be a name. It has to be some number like 1, 2, 3, and then comes the name. Okay, this is something like ID. This is something like name. I have to mention them as integer. I have to mention as character. Something I have to mention. That is what this is. Okay, at this point of time, don't worry about what is this number, what is this varchar, what is this int, what is this. Don't worry about it. we have a separate session only on data type. Today my objective is to create a table. For table, I need to give the table name, I give the column name, and I have to make sure what type of data it will fill. But don't worry about what is varchar, what is character. I'm listening for the first time. We have a separate session in couple of days. You will be learning the data type there. Okay, now everything is set. I have to give the data type. Okay, there's a data type. So what I will do, I will go and give varchar, something I will give. I explain you what is this varchar, everything, but for time being, you don't think too much about this data type. So varchar 20 is something which I give, and for age I will give integer. For age I will give integer. For phone number also I will give integer, because phone number has to be number, age has to be number, and location I will give as varchar. Okay, that is all it is. A simple table. A simple table. Create table, table name, column name, data type. Column name, data type. Column name, data type. Column name, data type. That is what you're seeing here as a syntax for table. This is create table, table name, column name, data type. Column name, data type. Column name, data type. The same thing is what I have created here. Okay, now what I will do, I will go run, select all this, and I will go and run it. Okay, what is the message? Create table customer has been executed without any error. That is the reason I'm getting the green symbol. Okay, now what I will do, I have to go and view the table. Maybe I will be having two options, but let me go and write something which you want to see the results. Always it has to be select. If you want to see the records, it is always going to be the select. What I will do, select star from, I will explain you each and everything. I will explain you what is a star. Okay, now I'll go and give this select star from customer. If I run this, structure is created. The same thing which you saw it in Excel, the structure is created. This is a table. Customer TB is a table where I will be storing all the information with respect to customer. What is a customer name? What is his age? What is his phone number? What is his location? Everything I am going to see it with respect to customer. This is a table. Okay, now something which I can tell it is structure is created. What is the next step? Database I created, structure table also I created. Next, what I should have? I should have data. Okay, that we will see in the next class. Today we have just created a table, database, and we have created a simple table. There is one question. Sometimes student ID is mixed up with numbers and characters. I'll tell you, whenever you are going with a data type concept, as I told, the data type you are going to have a special, like one session only on the data types. That time I will tell you what you have to go for it, when you have to go for it. But at this point of time, my objective was to create a table, which I've created it. Any questions so far? Any questions?
Hello, Santosh.
Yes.
No question.
Yeah.
You said in the create table, customer name was voucher. What is mean voucher?
What does it mean by
Voucher.
varchar?
Customer
Varchar.
name. You have
That's
created
what.
what varchar.
Uh, that, that's what I'm telling. You will be having a separate session on varchar. What is integer? It is like character.
Uh,
Like for example,
integer.
name is there. This is my name. So this is my name. This I have to store it. I'll be storing in customer name. This comes like a varchar. What is this 20 characters? I can support only 20 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now it is 8 characters. Maximum I can support only 20 characters for a name. That is the reason I'm giving. These are all under data types.
Okay.
I'll be explaining in a data
Okay.
types session.